Welcome back, everyone, to 1 Minute Recess, where we're breaking down Nevada and what's happening all around us every single day. And we're still pretending this is all normal. Anyways, my name is Annette Magnus.
And I'm Maria Teresa, your lovely
Maria.
co-host.
And I was like, did you freeze?
My mind froze because I was looking at the list of the things we're talking about today, and my mind just froze because I was like, I don't have a snarky line for this.
All right, let's go to the rundown. Any comments from the viewers last week?
Yeah, so
Thoughts, comments, concerns, questions?
wanna from YouTube, wanna be or wanna be W and or wanna be wanderer. Jesus, wanna be and wanderer 3034 out of bot says gay and then says still hope for nothing but good favor in your daily life. So gay and then still hope for nothing but good favor on your daily life. Not a bot, clearly, on any of those. So
weird. Okay.
Yeah, I take the gay as a compliment, if that was as an insult. No.
I mean, I'm cool with that. Like, whatever.
Yeah, the gays are great, and it's great to be gay. But
unfortunately, I do like men.
Yeah, unfortunately,
Nick knows. I've told him.
Unfortunately, not gay, but not insulted by it. But the still hope for nothing but good favor on your daily life. I don't understand that. I feel like a bot wrote that.
Thanks so much. You're also writing emails to African and Nigerian kings.
There you go. It's the wandering Nigerian prince.
When am I getting my large sum of money?
Don't know, but still hope nothing but good favor on your daily life. Desert Dream Media is also Sagittarius. So they're commenting that they're also Sagittarius. Because we had some clips about our sign. They don't know their risings or moon. It's really fun if you find that out. Desert Dream Media, because it tells you a lot about yourself. But glad you're part of the Sagittarius Club. Welcome. And
I'm all fire sign.
You
Desert
are.
Dream. Yeah. So good luck. Maria, what is yours?
I am obviously Sagittarius Sun. I am Scorpio Moon and Aquarius Rising. Exactly.
I'm nuts because I'm Aries Rising and Leo Moon. So all fire signs, baby.
Yeah, you were just born in a fire, and when I was made, random pantry items were added in. And then on TikTok, on one of the clips on like the economy being terrible, It's G commented about local economy here. There are very few international travelers this year. I think it will last another 3 years.
Yes, friend. You are correct.
Yeah, because how long did it take us to recover from 9/11, 2008? It's going to be a while.
The first Trump administration.
Yeah, that's right. I forgot.
I mean, let's be honest. Like, okay, inverse, right? Like, you and I travel all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Why would anybody want to come here? It's a dumpster fire.
Literally.
It's embarrassing.
Yeah.
I didn't even want to come back. I had to.
Right. People don't even
remember landing at LAX being like, I don't want to go. And I'm like texting, like, I don't want to do this.
I kept saying, no, turn back before you hit It's not. Yeah, because that was the day, I think that was the day of what happened in Minneapolis. And I was like, no, just turn back. It's gotten worse.
No, it was a few days after it.
Right.
Yeah, it was a few days after the woman was shot in the face. But still, I mean, every day there's something.
Mm-hmm. Every single day.
Now the people in Greenland are protesting us. Europeans are protesting us during the national anthem at a basketball game. Things are going great. Great job, everyone. Yeah. So for our viewer, thank you for watching. Very few international travelers. Do you blame them?
No. All those people on social media saying they bought tickets for the World Cup for the U.S. and they're like, not going. I'm going to go sell it. And I'm just not going to go to the World Cup. I don't blame you. No. Yeah.
Well, what when J.D. Vance's big-ass flapping mouth is over here like, we're going to arrest you if you stay too long. Like, that's way to roll out the welcome wagon. I told somebody this weekend, we don't deserve it anymore. Take it away from us, FIFA, just like that weird peace thing you gave to Donald Trump, the fake trophy you gave to him. And honestly, and in Mexico, y'all just take it from here because we don't deserve nice things at this point. No. You guys get FIFA.
Let the meth lab stay on fire and y'all have a nice time.
Oh, God. It's just painful.
Yeah, seriously.
Anyone else?
No, those
Any
were
other
those were
bots
comments.
that want to chime in?
No, just wannabe wanderer
Okay.
telling us we should have favor on our daily life. It sounds
Thank
like
God.
Hunger Games, like may the odds be ever in your favor.
Feels like Hunger Games every day I wake up, so fair.
Yeah.
God, I get to do this again. Lucky me.
Good times.
Okay, let's go into the local lowdown. I'm sure there's
Woo.
there's something on here, or there's something missing on here that we got to talk about. It is painful for me to discuss because I'm very irritated by the whole thing.
Well, let's talk about
Did
it
you
first.
happen to catch who the new school board trustees in charge of the school board are? Did you catch who the new leadership is, Maria?
I did not, but I'm getting a feeling that it's going to be
The Moms for Liberty weirdos. The Moms for Liberty weirdos are in charge of the school district once again. They teamed up with Irene Bustamante Adams, my school board trustee, which I am not pleased about. And thank God, Linda Cavazos, Tamika Henry, and Brenda Zamora all voted as a block, the Sanity block. Emily Stevens was a part of that, unfortunately. So it was like Emily Stevens, Irene Bustamante Adams, and then the two Moms for Liberty weirdos, which I don't even like saying their names because I don't like giving them any kind of like clicks because I find them both vile, disgusting people. So those weirdos teamed up with two people I thought were sane, which are not, and now they're running the school board again. Poor Joe Ebert. Poor Joe Ebert. Yeah, that's the right reaction.
like I have a pit in my stomach because, people might be like, it's just the school board. People if you don't know how things work, school boards have actually immense power.
Especially the fifth largest one in the country.
Yeah, exactly. And that is just, the school board has already, because of these people just agitating from like the outside and then as, creeping into the school. Now they're actually in leadership. And what is worse about all of this is that Irene Bustamante Adams, which I'm not shocked by, decided to be a part of all of this. Like where, like
We've seen this before from her.
Yeah, it reminds me of like an even worse version of the stadium scam. And
it's just so disappointing though.
She wonders why.
Well, especially at a time like this where we need to be protecting our kids. We need to be protecting our educators, especially the kids and educators of color. And these are the folks you want in charge? Like, that's really, Irene, you're a brown woman. This is where we're going? Emily, you're part of the LGBTQI community. Do better. Like, do better.
Yeah.
Here we are.
That's horrifying. That's shame on them.
Very disappointing. Yeah. That's what I thought too. When I saw it, I was like, well, thank God we have the three of them soon. So for all those watching at home who are like, who are the sane ones on there? The majority of the sane ones, the three I talked about are sane, but the majority of the sane ones are the appointed school board trustees. Unfortunately, there was a deal made when the bill passed. Those school board trustees, I think, still have another year before they're voting members. So it will help tremendously, even though they're the ones who will set the agenda and things like that. We will have more of a voting bloc who are sane on the school board soon. Unfortunately, I don't know if it will be soon enough. Very disappointing.
And that's just a testament to where we are in our country, because people wonder how insane people like J.D. Vance and Donald Trump get to where they are. It's because of seemingly little things like this, where you're like, I'm just, as a person in the LGBTQ community, as a brown woman, I'm going to make a deal with these people and it probably won't be that bad. It will be that bad and it will be worse, and you are a part of it. And then those people will get more power.
Yeah. Like, how do you watch the news every day just as like a human being with a soul, right? And be like, yeah, let's make a deal with those Moms for Liberty freaks because they're clearly going to uphold their end of the bargain. Have you not watched what's going on in Congress? Have you not watched what's going on with Donald Trump and his administration? There is no making a deal with the devil. It's just not a real thing. It's disgusting. When I saw it, Maria, I was like, did we not learn our lesson with KKKD? We're going to do this again. Also, one of them's running for Congress against Susie Lee. So now we're just going to give her a platform?
Exactly.
What?
Shame.
Right,
especially on you, Irene.
Speaking of this next article, will we own our mistakes? Boring Company president addresses multiple Vegas loop construction violations. So I think my favorite video I saw was during CES. People were on that freaking loop. One of my friends, one of our mutual friends, was on that loop, and I was like, oh my God, girl, don't die. Don't die. Brave. I did a lot of crazy shit in Vietnam. I went on a little spinny coconut boat. I did a lot of crazy things. I ain't that crazy. I ain't going down in that loop.
And a little claustrophobic tunnel with
that with safety violations. Look at this picture. Look at this picture. We'll put it on the website or on the podcast for you, so you all can see this picture that I'm looking at right now. It's literally like a muddy hole.
It just reminds me of
Look
that
at the
comment.
Home Depot bucket.
Of course, they go to Home Depot. Number one, of course, they go to Home Depot. The people guys, and that poor bucket is doing a lot of work.
But keep scrolling through. Look at these like boots. You know, there's like hazardous shit down there too.
100%.
Look at all these lacerations. Yeah, we're gonna put the link in the chat. This is an RJ article, so shout out to the Las Vegas Review Journal for this content and these pictures.
For real.
This is horrifying.
That laceration, it's not even from like a worker. It's a Clark County firefighter whose leg burned while training in the tunnel. I'm laughing.
These pictures are from Nevada OSHA.
It's from OSHA.
Did you see that? Nevada OSHA.
I just
muck buildup in the Boring Cove Vegas loop. Yeah. Click these pictures right now. Take a look. The Home Depot bucket is the only thing saving this Vegas loop. Why would you drive in this? No.
And what's wild is like that whatever is down there burned through the boots that the firefighters were using. But it's just the rock and water.
Listen.
It's just the rock and water, remember, Annette?
All right, that's what our viewers said. It was just rocks and water. What's the big deal?
It's just trust Elon Musk.
For anyone who's lived here any amount of time, like if you grew up here, you know, like we have a high prevalence of kidney stones, gallbladder stones. Y'all know we're all irradiated. Like, come on. I had to sign a thing in my when I bought the house with Nick. We had to sign a thing that says you're within 150 miles of a nuclear testing range. And you know, dipshit who's in charge wants to restart that shit. We've talked about that on the show. You know there's nuclear waste down there. There's no way
We're just going to pour it out back into the ether.
there's toxic shit down there. Come on. Come on.
We're all going to die.
I mean, we were all going to die anyways because, like, World War III is literally on our back door. But, and we'll get to that in a moment, friends. But if we don't get killed first that way, go down in these fucking tunnels and see what happens.
Yeah. Hell no.
I love this quote from the article that the RJ put up. The president of the Boring Co. admitted his company has not been transparent enough about incidents during the construction of its Vegas Loop transportation system that led to multiple fines. You think? When the governor can't cover up your shit. Because Governor Lombardo, reminder, Governor Lombardo tried to cover that shit up. When he can't cover your dumb shit up, you know you got problems. Speaking of, one side note, not related to this, but related to Governor Lombardo. So we're filming this on Monday, everyone. So happy Martin Luther King Day. Can we talk about for 5 seconds why Governor Lombardo thought it was appropriate to go to the Martin Luther King parade today downtown? I don't know. I had some feelings on that. What are your feelings on the matter?
What are you doing? You don't even go here. You don't even go here.
He's a cop!
Yeah, you're literally a cop and you're a Trumper. Martin Luther King would kick you out himself.
Even no black and brown people. What? I just thought that was real ballsy to show up there. I'm like, bro.
Sounds like, this is going to sound terrible, but it sounds like he realized who his opponent is and he was like,
probably gotta go talk to some black folks.
Yeah, I gotta go talk to some so that they don't think I'm,
Jesus,
what I really am. Yeah.
I'm just saying. Turned on channel, so I was scrolling through because I was getting ready for today. The Channel 13 had an Instagram post. They went live from the parade, which usually our news stations do that every Martin Luther King Jr. holiday. I know that because I've actually been to the parade and I've actually seen the parade multiple times. So I see a post about Aaron Ford being there, Attorney General, a bunch of the candidates I'm working with went today. And then that pops up. And I was like, which of these things don't belong at the Martin Luther King Jr. parade?
Is this some kind of new game by Channel 13? Guess what doesn't belong?
You know what's crazy too? Like, the irony to me is the funniest part, right? In his slogan, it still says sheriff, leader, some other bullshit. I'm like, bro, calm yourself. You haven't been sheriff in like 4 years. Calm down. But you're leaning into that law and order bullshit at a time like this and then going to the Martin Luther King Jr. parade? That just feels...
Law and order guy who covers up potential crimes by the Boring Company.
Well, and also the sheriff who replaced him. Shall I remind you? Old creepy McMahill?
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
Anyways, I had to, there were a few things that I was like making mental notes about today as we were like preparing to tape. And I was like, holy shit, Joe Lombardo's at the Martin Luther King Jr. parade. That's rich. Anything for a vote, apparently.
Anything for a vote. That should be his new slogan. Joe Lombardo, anything for a vote.
Mean, he knows this race is going to be tight, and he knows he's tied to Donald Trump. And here's the thing. Here's my theory on the matter. And I have a few friends who believe this too. So let's see if you think this. I think what's happening in Minnesota is a trial run for states like Arizona and even Nevada, right? Because I think he wants to see how it goes in a Dem state and then what's going to happen if he does it in Republican states. Now, does he do it here knowing Joe Lombardo is going to be on the ballot? Now, I don't think Donald Trump gives a flying fuck about Joe Lombardo. I think Donald Trump only cares about Donald Trump. Does he care about old Joe? That's really the question here.
No, he doesn't care about his kids.
I mean, that's fair. He didn't care about his ex-wife.
No, there's like a family and Jesus, there's like a family anecdote of like him when he was a child. He would like to throw rocks at babies. Yeah, it's like in one of the books of one of the family members who wrote. Yeah, it's. I'll have to look. Hang on.
Yeah, this has got to go in the. What is this?
Hang on.
I had to know about. I'm gonna put this on my social.
Yes. So hang on. This is from an article in like 2022, and it was like a biographer, and it was like he did not. Yeah, Maggie, it's in the book that Maggie Haberman wrote. And let me go right to the quote. This is really fucked up. So this is someone that like actually got access to his life, right? And she says that, you know, one of the people in his life, like, says she starts hearing the baby screaming and she comes outside and a roughly 5-year-old Donald Trump is throwing rocks at the crib. 5 years old.
Some like serial killer shit.
Yeah. Like, so does he care about you, Joe? No, he literally threw rocks at a crib of his own family member.
He doesn't even like babies. Clearly doesn't like animals. We should have never voted him into the White House because he didn't have animals. Like, who trusts a person that doesn't have an animal?
Yeah. Literally. Not a dog, not a parrot, not a fish, nothing. Don't trust people who don't like animals or have them. Not fair.
I bet animals don't like him either. Like, we should have done a test. Like, do animals like this person? Answer is no.
That should be the real primary. Have, like, animals just do a test, and they go into the general election.
Animals are smarter than all of us, so that might be better. They might be better at voting. Anyways, sorry for the tangent, everyone. I guess that's the kind of night we're going to have. Donald Trump doesn't care about you, Joe Lombardo. That's the bottom line. And when ICE comes here and all of us get pissed off because it's going to happen, I want to hear about it.
Yeah. And you open the door by collaborating with them, and your creepy heir also is collaborating with ICE. They're going to come in and
Did I tell you that ICE was outside my neighborhood the other day?
No, but that's
like literally one of those shitheads was parked outside our neighborhood the other day, and our dog sitter texted us. It was one of the last days we were in Vietnam. They're just parked out on Durango. And I told my dog sitter, whose name I'm not mentioning for very specific reasons, I was like, do not go up to them under any circumstances. Now, fast forward to Annette coming home, I was like, please let me see those motherfuckers outside my house, because I will go up and ask them what they're doing. I have no patience for that. And I live in a very diverse community. Abso-fucking-lutely not. No. Anyways, Joe Lombardo, Martin Luther King. Could he even, other than I Have a Dream, do you think he could even quote Martin Luther King Jr.?
No, he probably, Plan, shout out to Plan, a great organization who everyone should support here. They posted an article, or not an article, a quote, and he probably doesn't even know it, where Martin Luther King Jr. talks about, you don't just have to cooperate with good, you have to not cooperate with evil, which is literally what you have done, Lombardo, your entire career. So, no, don't go to the parade
Along
and
the
try
lines
to
of
act
being
like a great guy.
anti-racist.
Exactly.
Yeah, 100%. Shout out to Plan. That's fitting for this moment.
Mm-hmm.
Always so good. I love them. Okay, let's talk about something else. Brightline. Speaking of Donald Trump, Brightline's being built. It's actually being built not far from my home. So I see it all the time when I go grocery shopping or when I go to town square or whatever. The station is actually being built. So there's infrastructure there. I mean, it's further along than the A's stadium. I will say that. So there's that. Which, hey, by the way, we didn't even get to talk about that. We'll talk about it in a minute. The A's not getting their trademark. Anyways,
Yeah.
okay, so Brightline aims to have Las Vegas station trains in Southern Nevada in 2028. Maria, want to talk about this?
We've been having the dream of a train in Las Vegas that I don't know, but it's good to hear that it's actually being built. But I don't know if we will even have a country to need a rail by 2028. So I'm really cynical about all of it, about everything.
Yeah, I wonder that's a good point. Will we even need one?
Will we even need one? No, we will live in
Did
an
you see?
apocalypse.
Speaking of tying these two stories together, so the Boring Company now wants to put a tube in the desert because this is going to go well. It was a see-through tube from what I saw that goes from here to Reno with some sort of cockamamie travel scheme going on inside of it.
We already have that. It's called driving to Reno in your own car.
But it's supposed to be real fast in a tube that is
No, thank you.
clear in the middle of the Nevada desert. I'm good forever. I'll continue to drive my car.
Do they know that the wild of Nevada inspired The Hills Have Eyes? And I don't think I want The Hills Have Eyes looking into the tube.
I'm good forever. Also, what
Yeah.
happens when the tube gets hot? No, I'm good.
Yeah, you need. I don't think Elon Musk knows how things work.
Well, there's that.
He thinks he does.
Sure.
His followers think he does, but he does not.
Well, hopefully Brightline works. I would love to have a train between here and California. It makes my Disneyland trips much easier. I mean, the infrastructure's there. I don't know. They're building it up the street. Hopefully. Fingers crossed.
See.
I don't know. What do you think, viewers? Do you want to do you want to ride Elon Musk tube to hell from here to Reno? Let us know in the chat. I want to hear from you.
Do you want... that is the worst fucking idea ever. So is it gonna be just a really long tube?
Hang on. Okay, hang on. What's his Boring? I'm literally Googling Boring Company tube through Nevada news. All these safety fines. Oh, now they want to put one in Nashville too, apparently. What's this thing? I'll have to find it. It was one of the local magazines. Maybe it was Neon? I don't know.
Oh,
Fucking
targeting
psycho.
a 44-minute Vegas to Reno trip.
Yeah, that's the one.
600 miles an hour?
See, I told you.
I don't think, okay, do they know what the weather in Vegas is like and that you go up mountains and that thing is going to set itself on fire and it's going to explode.
Occasionally up north. There's earthquakes.
I don't think they understand that there is not even a nuclear reactor could handle the weather between two different. Jesus.
When the people of Mina or Lunning start shooting at the tunnel.
Yeah, because those are some real libertarians, Elon, with guns.
Oh, it's so bad.
They don't want your fancy city technology.
All right, so let's move on to the next depressing discussion, one that I work on often. How much federal funding? We lost Maria. All right, well, we're moving on to our next depressing topic. Maria switched sides with me in the interim. So, how much federal funding does Nevada receive for childcare? Something I work on all the time with my mom's rising client. The Nevada study, or a new study, shows which states are getting the most. Fun fact, Nevada is not one of them. Everybody. It just shocks everybody that we're at the low end of this.
No. Really? We're at the low end of something?
So apparently, all of this federal funding for childcare has been in the spotlight, and Channel 8 is the one who did this article, is doing this article because President Trump is now seeking to cut childcare funding from multiple states after several daycare operators in Minnesota were accused of fraud, which is garbage. That is a hot garbage thing that is not real. So let's just start with that. Donald Trump's a fucking liar, and so is the right.
Mm-hmm.
But we all knew that. So, Maria, how much money do these states receive every year from the federal government for childcare, and where does Nevada fall?
I don't know. How many? I forgot from reading the article, and my computer shut everything
Okay, I'll go down that rabbit hole for you. So, at the top of the list is one of the states that Trump is threatening to cut funding from, which is California, which received just under $1.5 billion in federal funding for childcare. Fun fact, California also puts in a lot to the federal government, so that's precious. With roughly a little more than 2 million children under the age of 5 in the state, that California receives about $695 for every child resident, which, by the way, for childcare right now, $695 is a pittance compared to what it costs to actually put your child in childcare. So just FYI. Not far behind is the state of Texas, which receives roughly $1.4 billion. I bet you Donald Trump's not threatening to cut Texas, though.
No.
Followed by the great state of Florida at just over $1 billion. Bet he's not threatening to cut them either, because he likes to play favorites based on, where his voters live. So, top of the list is California, Texas, Florida, New York, Michigan. So those are your top 5. I'm scrolling. Nevada is not even on the top 25 list. Great job. Not listed are some states that receive significant amount of money per child, but due to their lower population, don't receive as much money as all the states. Nevada receives a total of $97 million, which Smart Assets lists as $564 per child. Again, that is a pittance. At $1,782 received per resident child in New Mexico is the highest in the country due to its lower number of residents. New Mexico receives roughly $187 million. Now, fun fact, New Mexico just passed a bill to have universal child care. So this way, if you need child care, the state, not the federal government, the state is going to cover your child care. So similarly, West Virginia, which, you have to live in West Virginia, so there's that, receives $1,651 per child, about $144 million in total. So I'm just going to tell you right now, a neighbor of mine has 2 kids. She has them in daycare. They are daycare age. They are not in school yet. She spends roughly $27,000 a year putting her kids in daycare.
That's a lot.
That is more than tuition for a year at UNLV, and that is more than tuition for a year at UNR. So thanks so much, Donald Trump. Glad you're still somewhat contributing, but what the federal government puts in is abysmal in Nevada. And they need to do better. They actually don't need to cut it. They need to do better.
So, Annette, if I'm someone that thinks this is bullshit, which I am, but don't know what to do about it, what do I do? How can I?
Well, first of all, call your lawmakers, Nevadans. Call your lawmakers. Call your congressional members, especially Mark Gamaday. Call your senators, right? That's the best course of action so they can take your stories to the floor. Reach out to groups like Moms Rising. There's 2 of us in Nevada doing organizing. Moms Rising is a great organization you can volunteer with nationally, here locally. Not just because I'm doing the work, but nationally, they kick ass and they're doing amazing work. So if you're a parent or if you're just somebody like me who cares about this issue, reach out, get involved. This is one of those issues where Donald Trump is going to make cuts that are going to hurt real people and families. And guess what? Some of the people that are going to suffer the most are going to be MAGA people. So good luck to you.
Look at you, Moms for Liberty.
Anyways, so that's the local lowdown. There's lots going on in Nevada and locally. Great job, everyone.
Yeah, things are going so well for everyone. Good job.
All right, so let's talk about World War III. We're moving on to WTF is happening in the world, Maria. World War III. So
World War III.
I want to go through the countdown real quick with you. See if I miss anyone on the list this week, because the list has gone up this week. So after Venezuela, he threatened Cuba,
Mhm.
He threatened Mexico
Mhm.
and Colombia, I believe. I think it was
Yes.
Colombia.
And the Colombian president tweeted out
He was
after
basically
this,
like,
he was like, "Come at me, bro. You know where to find me."
yeah. It was like the Gavin Newsom response, right?
Yeah.
And then, okay, so that's 3 that we're having a world war with. Now
Mhm.
we're up to basically all of our European NATO allies in
Mhm.
Greenland.
Mhm.
Potentially, like, Russia. Some days yes, some days no. It depends on what Trump's relationship with Daddy Putin is, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Okay. And then China,
Mm.
who's, like, up in Canada this week making deals with Canada, because
Oh,
Canada is making deals with the Chinese.
yeah, and Canada, who was an early, like, you're gonna be the first state, like,
Yeah. And they were
yeah.
also like, okay, so Canada.
Uh-huh.
Who else we adding to the list? Potentially, well, I saw Japan and South Korea were meeting because they don't trust the United States anymore either.
Is it Nigeria where they're is it Nigeria where they said that there's an African nation or multiple will be attacked soon?
And then we've got tariffs now on all of our European partners because Donald Trump's throwing a temper tantrum. What else is going on? There was one other thing that I know I missed. Damn it, what was it? It's hard to keep track of all the stupid shit that comes out of Donald Trump's mouth, but I'm doing my
Mhm.
best here, friends. There was one other one that I was like, oh God, here we go. He threatened somebody else. Iran, silly me, Iran. Because you gotta throw the Middle East into chaos. You gotta have them in the mix. And then I forgot the whole, oh, this is what it was with Russia this week. Because again, hard to keep track. Are we good? We bad? What are we doing with Daddy Putin? His whole peace conference thing that Donald Trump wants to put together.
Mhm.
The 2 people he invited to be on his little peace club is Benjamin Netanyahu and Vladimir Putin.
So it's basically
It's his peace club.
it's base it's basically Vlad and his 2 bitches meeting. Okay.
Apparently,
Jesus Christ.
things are going great. We're tariffing the shit out of Europe now.
For
I saw an article today, friends, that said, who's actually paying the tariffs? It's you! Like consumers, like real people.
yeah,
Yeah.
every time you go buy from Shein, you pay a little more now for shipping.
Every time. If you can even get the shit now, you're paying a little bit more.
Oy vey.
Okay, so you and I like history a lot. We have a whole text chain with my husband just about like this shit.
Mhm.
This next article from Reuters, our friends at Reuters, says Trump links Greenland threat to Nobel Peace Prize snub. EU prepares to retaliate. And literally daily have been dropping off troops on Greenland.
It's like a school drop off.
Obviously, all of this escalated after Donald Trump and the United States war criminals in his cabinet went and illegally kidnapped a president of another country. Then, this week, the Venezuelan person who lost the election, apparently, who did get the Nobel Peace Prize, came to kiss Donald Trump's ass to give him the fake Nobel Peace Prize. That the Nobel Peace Prize people were like, you can't give that away.
Yeah, it's yours.
And now the thing we created after World War II, NATO, is going to retaliate against us.
Yeah,
So I just want to ask this. Did you ever in your life think you would read something like that?
you know, the specific, like the NATO, the Russia, the Russia. That is probably the most surprising things because, like many people were like when the Venezuela thing happened, like we were like, oh, now it's just happening in the open. Great. And like being tweeted about and being admitted by the administration, all that. But the NATO stuff and the Greenland, it's like that we literally, like you said, we literally created this.
To be fair. Okay, to be fair, fuckface Donald Trump did say when he was running, I give it to him because the motherfucker says things out loud, right? Like he's not like hiding any of this. I think though, for a sane, reasonable set of human beings, including you and I, right?
Mhm.
I even had people say to me when I was like, we'll be lucky if we have elections in 2026. And people are like, no, don't go that far. And I'm like, oh, now he's talking about it in the open.
Mhm.
I think even the craziest among us was like, the NATO thing, that's too far. The Greenland thing, that's too far. Like, right? Like, even the Venezuela thing. You would have asked me a year ago if he's going to go in and kidnap another president. I'd be like, meh. And, like, nothing happens, right? There's nothing that happened. Zero accountability happened to Donald Trump. The United States Congress is sitting there like Democrats writing strongly worded letters.
We're going to give a speech and write an op-ed.
We're mad! Okay.
We'll do something about it.
Right. You're literally the only one. Like, we voted. The whole purpose of you existing was to be a fucking check and balance on this motherfucker. And what are you checking and what are you balancing? Then you got Lisa Murkowski, of all the fucking people, from Alaska, standing up the other day. Did you see the press conference where that dumb asshole was standing up the other day being like, if Donald Trump goes into Greenland, this is going to be a bridge too far and we're going to impeach him. Sure you are, bitch.
This is
sure.
Not kidnapping another president. This is a bridge too far.
This is the bridge too far. You're not we went and stole a whole ass country's oil. Also, BT dubs, side note, he released a fucking meth maker today from prison. A January 8th the child of some January 8th weirdo who made meth and sold it. So obviously the Venezuela shit and him blowing up fishing boats was not about drugs because he let a meth maker out of jail today. And then we kidnapped a fucking president, whether we like him or not. Kidnapped a sovereign country's fucking president. But Greenland's too far, bitch. Greenland's too far, Lisa Murkowski.
I think she's getting the inkling that he's just going to sell Alaska at some point. He's just going to sell it back to Putin.
That is exactly the thought I had. I was like, oh my God, she's worried he's going to do it with Alaska with Russia. Because you know that's Putin's wet dream.
Yeah, he's always, like people don't understand why the Alaska thing was such a big deal and why she's such a moron. Because they've always wanted Alaska. They still say it's there.
I fucking thought the same thing, Maria. I was like, this is because she's shitting bricks. He's gonna sell off Alaska to Putin,
and she doesn't speak a lick of Russian probably, and is gonna be her job.
Take her. You know what? Fuck it. Take her,
Putin.
Put her in bad rubbish. That's what you get.
Yeah, that's what you get. You put him there.
For fucking co-signing on his nonsense.
So like going back to like for you, Murkowski, him rolling out the red carpet, literally on your land. And having, like, soldiers do that, like Neil to be able to roll out the red carpet for that motherfucker, that wasn't a bridge too far.
Apparently not. Apparently Greenland's too far. Because she sees the writing on the wall.
She does. That it's real. Because she's probably one of those people, like many Republicans out there, he's not that bad. It's not going to get that bad. He threw rocks at a baby when he was 5. It is going to be that bad.
100%. He wrote it all down. He told us. He fucking told us.
Yeah. Come on.
Let me read the first line of the first paragraph of this article, because it literally sums up what we just said. This is coming from Paris/Oslo. United States President Donald Trump has linked his drive to take control of Greenland to his failure to win a Nobel Peace Prize. I read that as he wants to throw rocks at babies. Saying he no longer thought purely of peace as the row over the island threatened to reignite a trade war / World War III. They didn't put that in there. With Europe. The Canadian president this week, Prime Minister, President, I forget who it was. Sorry, it's been a busy news week.
Not a dictator, unlike us. Yeah.
Literally used the words New World Order, right? And not in the way people typically think of, right? Like, not in the, like, scary New World. I mean, it might be scary. It currently is scary. But, like, not in, like, the hysteria kind of way. But, like, in the terms of, like, the shuffling of global powers, right? And you're like, the Canadian president, like, he, like, paused. And then it came out of his mouth. And you're like, damn.
This is real. Yeah. We're like, the U.S. is going to be the Nevada of the world. We're going to be at the bottom of the power list. No one's going to like us.
Trump declined to tell NBC News in an interview whether he would use force to seize Greenland.
That means he
That's
will.
that's the particularly troubling one.
Yeah. He also didn't say when asked about Venezuela, he said, I haven't thought about it. So that's
Oh.
how you know it's gonna happen.
So here's my question to you, because, we saw the doomsday plane here in LA literally like 2 days after I got back. I hear word on the street is dumb shit's building his bunker back under the White House. My question to you, okay, so we went down and we literally stole a president and seized an entire country illegally, and now we're just running it and stealing their oil, right? And nobody did a fucking thing.
Correct.
Not Congress, not the military.
Nope.
Nobody. Like all those checks and balances we learned about in high school, in
Non-existent.
government class, and I got a whole ass degree, so did you, in political science. We were told this is like, there's checks and balances, and that is supposed to like prevent this shit from happening. Anyway. So my question is, we're in the fuck around phase. When does Donald Trump and the United States of America get to the find out phase? Because I just want to be ready. What are your thoughts?
When NATO, who have missiles, are like, okay, we're done. We're pointing them at you.
But do you really think they do that with a madman? Like, I think everybody's just scared enough that this motherfucker is unhinged, because he truly is.
Yeah. It's either that or when we get like really economically isolated and like we actually start suffering. Because it's Francis Fukuyama, who someone posted, and I didn't watch the whole video because I'm frightened, but he basically is like, Europe, you need to actually be like, he doesn't respond to weakness, so you actually need to come in with like threats. And I'm like, threats, okay.
I was so happy that Macron was like, bro. And I was like, if anybody's just psychotic enough to do it, it's Macron. Like, thank God, right?
And he's the one with the nuclear weapons.
I'm just mad our girl ain't there in Germany anymore, because she really would have, right?
Yeah.
Angela she wouldn't have put up with this bullshit. But I don't know. I just don't know. Because at this point, I'm like, y'all talk a good game, but are you really going to come at him? Because, like, I'm down. I'm ready.
Let's actually do it. Let's actually do it.
Who's going to do it? Who's going to do it first?
Yeah, like, and you know what's...
It's going to take every single one of you.
Yeah. It's going to take the whole alliance, so...
And then some.
Yeah. And, like, actually do it, because I think...
Do you think NATO goes to China and is like, listen,
yeah,
we got to smack this motherfucker around a little
100%.
bit. I've been thinking a lot about that.
You know who's been the trailblazer in Europe to do this shit? Spain. That's why he hates him, because Pedro Sanchez, there was like this contract, I forget what it was, but it was like a government contract, a technology one, for like, who are they going to go with? Are they going to go with an American, I forget if it was like Motorola or something, or Huawei, a Chinese one, and it's like a big time contract. And the Spanish government was like, you know what, we don't even want to hear the American contract, we're just going to go with the Chinese. And everybody lost their minds. Even some Europeans lost their minds of like, how dare you go to China? China's a communist. And Pedro Sanchez was like, and Trump is a dictator. I don't want the Americans with any information on my citizens, on my government, none of that.
China's already got it.
Yeah. He was like, I kind of trust the Chinese more.
Which is a sad state of affairs, right?
Yeah. Yeah. So I do think that is the way. And you know what's crazy? That's what China has always wanted since like 20 years ago.
Well,
and he's just giving it to them.
Dumbass. Right? Like, you're 100% right. And what this dumbass doesn't realize, at least I don't think he realized. I was thinking about this again today, because I think about this shit a lot now, because it's just what I think about. I was thinking about, I don't think this dumbass knows, like, the true box he's putting us in. I think he thinks he knows the art of the deal, and he knows how to negotiate. But I think we are in uncharted fucking territory now, and he is playing a dangerous game of fucking chicken here. And we are getting very close to the find out phase. And we were I don't know if I was talking with you about it with you or somebody else, but like, the United States, I think we were talking about it last week. The United States has been relatively conflict free on our own soil, right? It always happens somewhere else. None of us are ready for that. None of us are mentally, physically, emotionally prepared for any of what comes if that really does happen. And this dumb motherfucker gets us in a war or wars. And it's like, what if all of them band together? Because Canada sure is like, we don't like that meth lab.
Yeah.
And Mexico's like, we don't like that meth lab either.
And Canada has started a program for civilians to basically to amp up its civilian reserve. And for them to be not just, reserve, like we have the National Guard on reserve, like combat ready reserves, so that if shit happens, civilians know what to do.
Okay.
Canada.
So let's take it one step further. Speaking of reserves. So we listed like 8 or 9 countries that we're currently beefing with over something, potentially world wars.
Yep.
Then, on top of all of that, you have a civil war brewing in your own country. Because what's currently happening, we made mention of this earlier with Joe Lombardo being a cop at the Martin Luther King Jr. Day Parade. Then you have Minnesota, which is the next testing, the evolution in what was LA and Chicago and Washington, D.C., right? Like it's been ramping. And this is like the current, ridiculousness that's happening. So my question to you is, you've got all these international conflicts, and then you've got a conflict here at home where the governor of Minnesota is calling in his National Guard and Dickface is calling in 2 army platoons or whatever you want to call them. And now we're going to have beef on beef in Minnesota?
Yeah. I remember when I was a kid, my mom would say this country is going to have a civil war. It's just going to. Like an actual one, because, the old one was with the states that weren't the part of the Manifest Destiny.
And then we never held them accountable, similar to what's happening to Donald Trump right now.
And so we never really had a reckoning that most countries have to go through their history. And so it is very likely. I mean, there was a picture, and I thought of this picture as we were, because one of the articles that we have here is about MLK holiday and the current climate and Minnesota and all of this, and how like more important than ever it is to really understand this holiday. And there was a white guy, looks like your husband, not a Black Panther, not a Brown Beret, not an immigration activist, just a white guy, Minnesota guy.
With the gun?
With the
with the long gun. Yeah.
And yeah.
And the right lost their fucking minds, by the way. These Second Amendment warrior nonsense Nazi sympathizers lost their mind that a leftist would dare have a gun in his front yard protecting his property. I was like, really? What about stand your ground? Applies to me too.
Private property.
I don't know. ICE comes a knocking, I'm going to the door with the gun.
Yeah.
Castle doctrine,
stand your ground. Call Michael Roberson.
Yeah. Castle doctrine. Go ahead. Make my fucking day.
And I think that's what is the most probable thing. Like, we are a country. And who was it that said, like, every few years there has to be blood that feeds the tree of liberty? And
I just feel like there's a lot of blood about to be fed to that tree.
Yeah, there is.
And I'm not like a military sympathizer. Obviously, like, I don't love war. Pretty lefty when it comes to that stuff. But I do worry about the people who are like in the military, volunteering their time, serving our country, right? Like, you never want to see them in harm's way. Like, I worry about especially, well, all of them, but especially like the young people who are just getting in. I was talking to a friend the other day. He's got a kid that's getting ready to go into the Naval Academy. I'm like, bro, you sure about that? Right? Like, it's just, especially after like being in Vietnam and like thinking about like what happened to my uncle when he was, I'm just like, really? You're gonna send your kid into this with this president? And I do think it's gonna take some of our military personnel standing up to him and being like, you're not doing this, right? Like, that's another safeguard that we're supposed to have built into, this whole government system that we have, that the heads of the military are able to say, no, we're not doing that.
And I remember during his first administration when Chief of Staff Kelly and Mattis had like a pact that neither of them could be too far away from the president, because they had like a thing of like, if he gets crazy and goes for the codes, like they said, one of them would punch him.
Really?
Yeah.
Could you imagine having that kind of pact?
Yeah. But like those were real like military heroes that were like, no, it's not about you, it's about the country and about the world. And I felt so safe knowing that Mattis was around. And now that we don't have a Mattis and like all the good people are just leaving the military, I'm like, oh no, we're fucked. That's it. We're fucked.
Who's going to stand up to him?
Yeah. Because it takes you literally going, no, I'm going to punch him. That's what you're there for. You're there to
the fucking
attack if something bad is going to happen.
The drunk who can't work signal. running the Department of War.
Mm,
I instantly feel unsafe with that
Yeah.
motherfucker.
very unsafe.
I don't even know. I laugh, basically, so I don't cry.
Mm-hmm.
Like, when you got people in the snow of Green... I'm just looking at, like, this on CNN right now, right? When you have people out in, like, the snowy dead of winter in Greenland protesting us. Like, I'm sorry, I didn't do it. Advise... This headline, speaking of what we just talked about with Mattis and all them. Advisors are wary of a military pursuit of Greenland as the president's stance hardens. That sounds safe.
Stop being wary and do something about it.
Literally,
Be like
anything.
Maddox and say, I'm gonna punch you. I'm gonna punch you if you try something.
Listen, you and I could take that flabby motherfucker. Any of them could.
My dog could. And
Oh,
he's short as
cheeseburger
hell.
blood over here. Come on. His hands are more bruised than any bruise I've ever gotten.
It's the Greenland thing is gonna get so bad.
So the quote underneath that, Danish MP, if Trump invades Greenland, quote, it would be war.
War.
Great.
World War III. Europe is like, great, another one. We get all the world wars. Why can't y'all have all the world wars?
Over fucking Greenland, of all the things. Like, I did not have that on my bucket list. Did not have that on my bingo card, right? Like, we all knew this dumbass was like, Greenland. But like, and then he's like trying to blame China and Russia. And sure, that may be part of his weird ass strategy. But like, come on. You just want to play. You saw Putin doing it with Ukraine.
Yep.
You saw China doing it with Taiwan. You're like, I want one too. That's
It's
all
you.
this is.
5 years old, being ignored by your family because there's a newborn, and you decide to throw rocks at the newborn.
Trump has tariffs. Europe has a, quote, trade bazooka. This Greenland standoff could get ugly fast. Good job, everyone. Well, that was fun.
Well, that's what the fuck is happening around the world.
Happy Martin Luther King Day, everybody. One for the books.
He's like, I'm glad I'm dead, honestly.
It's just insane. Anyways. All right, what's your hot take and headache for the week? I feel stupid even asking.
Just like World War III.
I don't fucking know. Minnesota's on fire. People are getting shot in the face. World War III. I don't fucking know.
I do have a hot take that
Yep.
young men like Kai Cenat, who is a Twitch streamer, are doing more than Congress to actually give me and many others some hope. Why? If you know who Kai Cenat and what he's doing, literally in the last few days, it's so Kai Cenat. He's a big time streamer, millions of followers all around the world. He recently started doing streaming, not of games, but of him reading out loud because he wanted to be a better speaker because he's gotten more opportunities and things like that. And he was like, as a young man, I've never taken it seriously. And there have been two answers. People have been saying, oh my God, look at him not knowing a word and looking it up. But then there have been people, you know what, in these dark times, looking at a young man being vulnerable enough to like read and learn words. That's kind of like what the world needs. And there's been a resurgence, at least in my algorithm, of like young men taking up reading and like talking about it. And I just find it really endearing and kind of like there's like one sliver of hope, and it's like those guys being like, you know what, I'm not going to be a toxic asshole like the Joe Rogans and the Donald Trumps of the world. I'm going to like try to educate myself because my education system didn't do it or didn't inspire me to do it, and now I'm going to do it, and I'm going to stream it. I'm going to learn new words, and yeah, that's my hot take. They're young men, keep reading.
Mine's gonna be the opposite of yours. So, speaking of young men who don't fucking read, my hot take this week is for Jake Lang, the January 6er who was literally pushed out of Minnesota after he tried to burn the Quran during a protest, and the protesters went after his ass. And he was talking a whole lot of shit until he wasn't. And my second hot take is for all the dumb motherfuckers on the right who came up with the acronym AWFUL, which is like for affluent white women who are well educated, some dumb shit. I will take being awful any fucking day of the week over voting for a pedophile.
100%.
So I just want to put that out there as an affluent white woman who is well educated, who works in politics, and is pretty much as liberal as you can fucking get. I will be awful any day of the week over a racist, over a fucking pedophile, over a Nazi like you all. Because you
Mhm.
all are the fucking problem. And I could
Mhm.
out-debate you, outsmart you any day of the week. So please, call me awful. I will claim that happily. It's better than being called a bitch or being called a fucking bitch and getting shot in the face. Because you're doing that too.
Yeah.
Nazi.
Nazis. Pedophile supporters.
Rather be awful than a Nazi any day.
Mhm.
Also, it's rich because it's like white women calling other white women that. I'm like, girl, you're affluent too. What are you fucking talking about? I know you're not
Well,
well educated. That's clear. But you're affluent.
they're running out of their chat GPT is running out of arguments.
My thing is like, since when is being well educated a problem? Maybe we could all use a little more education, to your example, as this nice young man is educating himself.
Yeah.
Maybe we could use a little more of that, friends.
Yeah. Yeah. And he's constantly talking about how educating himself is changing his life. He was like, whoa, that's
Crazy.
what that word means. Holy shit. Yeah, it's weird. It's like how that's why we should fund our education system, teach our kids to think.
Wild. It's like it's a whole systematic process from the Trump administration to make us dumber. Wonder why?
It's weird.
His voters eat that shit up. They love being stupid.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's enough for this week. I think we've fully riled ourselves up. Can't wait to try to go to sleep now.
Yeah. 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 So that's the final bell, Annette.
Yeah. It's been a real treat, a real blessing again this week. Another week in America, everyone. Doing great, sweetie.
Mm-hmm.
Well, with that, thank you everyone for joining us for another week of 1 Minute Recess. We love and appreciate you all. Please like and comment. We will read your comments online. If you made it this far, you clearly like the show. So share it with your friends, share it with your family, share it on Facebook, share it on Twitter, share it on Instagram. Make sure more people are tuning in. If you put comments in the chat, we will respond to you, even if you're a bot. So keep the comments coming. We want to hear from you. Maria?
Yeah. And even share it with your enemies. We want to hear from them too.
Share it with the dumbest people you know.
Exactly. So share it with them, everyone else, and we'll see you next week.
All right,
Bye.
everyone. Stay safe.